Red Bull team principal Christian Horner believes Mercedes' bullying approach led to Masi being fired as the FIA's Formula One race director. Masi was removed from the position following the FIA's analysis into the final race of 2021, in which he focused solely on the title fight between Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen in the closing stages, removing the lap drivers between the pair for a final lap shootout. Mercedes initially appealed the results of the race before dropping its protest, stating it was on the proviso that the FIA took action moving forward. However, Horner believes Masi should not have lost his job. Well, in today's video, we're going to talk about what Horner revealed about Masi being fired. Without further ado, let's begin. Masi was fired by the FIA over his handling of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix that saw Max Verstappen take the World Championship by passing Lewis Hamilton on the last lap. That was because Masi called in the safety car, allowing Verstappen, who had changed on to new tires during the suspension in racing, to take advantage of his faster rubber. Hamilton was still on old tires. Horner said, "I think it's harsh. He was in a very difficult position last year, but we think a lot of decisions went against us." When you look at what he has at his disposal in terms of resources compared to what the teams have, it's such a massive difference. It's good to hear they're bringing in a VAR equivalent and an experienced name in Herbie Blash, an advisor to the new race directors. There was so much pressure put on the removal of Michael, that's not right. Mercedes claimed that Masi should have let all the lapped cars unlap themselves rather than just the 5 between Hamilton and Verstappen. Had he done so, the last of the 58 laps would have ended under a safety car with Hamilton as champion. Horner, presumably alluding to a clause that allows the race director virtual carte blanche, added, "He didn't do anything wrong in accordance with the rules." It's a bit of a smokescreen, because if you look back at the race, Mercedes had 2 opportunities to pit. Hamilton is gunning for revenge this year after staying quiet for much of the winter, leading some to speculate over whether he would retire. This season is shaping up to be a fight full of drama again between the new champion and the British star, who is gunning for an 8th title to overtake Michael Schumacher's record. Was it right to fire him based on pressure that was placed on him from a rival team? That for me was wrong, Horner told BBC Sport. That's tantamount to bullying. It's passively aggressive. The team, led by Toto Wolff, presented the W13, the narrowest car of all teams for the coming season, with just a 5 cm gap between the pontoon and the floor, making it 10 cm narrower than the cars unveiled by Aston Martin and Ferrari. Mercedes said the car, which took 18 months to build, is 98% new compared to last season's car. The team also returned to its traditional silver body work after racing in black the last 2 campaigns. Hamilton will be hoping to navigate the new car to the new World Championship, while fellow Brit George Russell will be the car's other driver after joining Mercedes from Williams to replace Valtteri Bottas. If you are enjoying the video, then make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more amazing videos just like this. Horner also believes there has been unfair abuse sent Masi's way as a result of the final race, suggesting Mercedes embarked on a concerted campaign to have him removed. Ever since work on W13 began, I have seen an excited enthusiasm in our team members like never before, thanks to the scale of opportunity that these technical regulations provide, said Mercedes boss Toto Wolff. Towards the end of the year, when the car build project truly came together, I felt a deep passion across the whole organization, not only in the technical arena, but across our bases at Brackley and Brixworth, who were embracing a mindset of "we can do this." We did pretty well during the last big regulatory change into the hybrid era, and performed well when we went from the narrow to the wide cars in 2017. While we have a good track record, my message is clear. We can't rely on past success for this year's performance, but we can rely on our people, our culture, our structure, and our mindset to do the best possible job for 2022. Yes, Michael did make mistakes, and it was frustrating, but you have to look at the role that he was in and the tools that he had at his disposal, Horner said. You can't just place the blame on Michael. It's unfair to do that. We were on the receiving end of many of Michael's errors. But he is in a high-pressure role in a high-pressure sport. But what it is unforgivable is the trolling, the abuse online, the death threats that he and his family had. That absolutely cannot be condoned in any way. That has nothing to do with the sport. It's just out-and-out bullying, and I would not accept that in any way within our organization. That's why I spoke up for Michael, because I felt he had not had any support. He had not had any backing. That he had been hung out to dry, and that there was this concerted campaign that was very passive-aggressively focused against him. I will always stand up for someone who is being bullied. Bullying is not acceptable. Explaining his belief that Mercedes actually had the rub of the green across the season as a whole, Horner added, "You have to look at the season over the 22 races. We had a lot of decisions go against us earlier in the year, and penalties that weren't awarded and so on." On Masi's decision later in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, Horner maintains the outcome would not have changed had the race director ensured all lapped cars could overtake. "I don't believe the rules were not followed correctly," he said. "I think that they were applied perhaps differently to how they had been before by not allowing every single car to unlap. Looking at that incident, it wasn't a big crash and the driver was not injured. The car was near an exit in the barriers, and it always looked the likelihood that would be cleared up, and there would have been no problem releasing all 7 cars rather than just 5. If they'd have released all 7 of them, would you have had a problem with it? It would make no difference to the outcome of the championship if they'd got all 7 out of the way. The only mistake you could argue he made was not releasing the back 2 cars, that he could have easily done, but it had no material effect on the race." Subscribe, like, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below.